All right, welcome in. Smash the like button. Get subscribed. Moose with the Box, presented by Gotlit Light Installers. Be sure to share as well if you have not already. Tigers win 17-4 over ULL. 7-inning run rule game Tuesday night at the Box. LSU 23-3 overall on the season. And night obviously highlighted by plenty of offensive fireworks, especially in the first inning. And we'll get to all of that. But let's be honest, that's not what any of us were watching this baseball game for. You were watching it to see the pitching. And while I can look at it and say, okay, they gave up 3 runs. Excuse me, they gave up 4 runs. They only walked 1. That's, on paper, really good. But watching the game, there was a little that was left to be desired, in my opinion, from what I saw on the mound. You know, I told all of y'all what I would do, and that was just throw a different guy every inning. Get as many guys out there as you can. And that's what I wanted to see. I think what I punctuated that thought with were they're not going to do that. And lo and behold, they didn't. I thought Jaden Newt was fantastic again, which is just that's very encouraging. 41 pitches is more than I wanted to see him throw, but he gave you 3 really good innings. You know, he pitched awesome in the first inning. I felt really horrible that he gave up the unearned run, but, you know, Stephen Milam is not going to commit many errors, so you'll live with that and move on. But Newt did what he needed to do to get out of that jam that he worked himself into in the first inning. And unfortunately, you know, on the rare occasion that the defense didn't pick you up, they just didn't pick him up and the run came across. You know, in the first inning, he gave up a couple. The second inning, he gave up a couple more hits. They pushed another one across, but he batted really hard. He didn't walk anybody. He was really all over the zone. He was actually one of your few pitchers who was in advantage counts most of the night. So I mean, I'm still just very, very encouraged by Jaden Newt. That's now 4 straight good outings. I'm ready to see him on the weekend. The problem is he threw 41 pitches tonight, and you're on a condensed week, quick turnaround. Mississippi State comes in on a Thursday, maybe Saturday. Maybe you see Jaden Newt on Saturday, but I can't imagine it's any sooner than that. Next out of the bullpen was William Schmidt. And look, I'll tell you, Schmidt went down to the pen in the bottom of the first. When LSU, that marathon first inning they had, during the pitching change, that's when Schmidt headed down to the bullpen. So you could tell, okay, he's first out. And that he was chief among everybody that I wanted to see, because you have to get him back out on the mound, right? We talked about it. Man, that's a great line that Jay Johnson had. Oh, he's done pitching on Tuesdays for the rest of his career. And, you know, that's awesome, whatever. Great quote, get clicks, drive engagements, all of those things. He needs the mound time. So I was fired up to see him get out there. Gave up 2 runs on 2 hits in his first inning. Pitched around some trouble in his second and put up a 0. Now he threw 47 pitches. We'll talk about what that might mean here momentarily. Overall, though, a lot left to be desired out of William Schmidt's outing. William Schmidt, he just doesn't look comfortable at all. I mean, that's the best way that I can describe it. Like, I don't think any of it really with Schmidt would be mechanics. You know, the stuff's plenty good enough. He just looks shook up from the moment he steps on the mound. And I think that's inexperience. And I think probably the only thing that's going to fix that is success. That's actually the reason I loved that they put him back out there for the second inning of work, because he worked himself into a jam and he got out of it. And he got out of it after a mound visit, which again leads me to believe he's just not comfortable. I don't love to use the word mental, like it's all mental, but the fact that he works himself into trouble, Jay goes out there, mound visit, and then he gets out of the jam promptly, kind of points to, all right, he's thinking too much. He's not just out there pitching. He's not just out there trusting his stuff. William Schmidt's stuff is some of the best on the staff. We know that at 18 years old. It's why he was projected to be a first-round draft pick. The other thing that was very encouraging is when he got out of the jam, the first person out there to meet him and congratulate him was Jay Johnson. So I'm hopeful maybe him getting out of that jam instills a little bit more confidence, but the results were just still too mixed. I mean, again, 47 pitches. That doesn't speak great for his availability on the weekend in a compressed week, maybe Saturday. So that's going to change a few things. But either way, if you see Schmidt on the weekend, I don't think you can put him back in a leverage situation yet. I think that's obvious. Like, I think that is obvious at this point. It's not to say that later in the year you won't, but he's just got to get some success back under his belt and trust his stuff a little bit more and stop thinking so much out there on the mound. I mean, that's literally what it looks like to me when you look at William Schmidt. Now, what that also illustrates, him throwing 47 pitches and maybe being available at Saturday at the earliest, is you're going to see a shakeup in how they use the bullpen. Like, you are going to see a shakeup in how they use the bullpen this weekend. It had been very consistent through the first 2 weeks where Cade Anderson goes, he gets you deep. You use Zach Cowan at the back end of the Friday night game. Then you go into Saturday, Ianson gets you, off to the good start. And then both weeks, they went Ware, Schmidt out of the bullpen both times. You're going to see a shakeup there. The way they used William Schmidt tonight shows that. And I, for one, am excited to see how they go about using it and which way they attack it this weekend. So that's going to be very, very interesting. Let's see. After William Schmidt was Connor Binge for a hitter. 5 pitches, strikeout. Love it. Want to see more of Connor Binge. If I had to guess who's the next guy in line for a leverage spot this weekend, my guess is 43, Connor Binge. It was great to see him get out there and throw strikes again. He threw strikes over the weekend. He hung a slider, it got hit. Man, he got tagged for, a couple runs off of it, whatever. He was one of your few guys out of the pen that threw strikes, and he did it again tonight. So that's a step in the right direction. You got to see Chandler Dorsey on the mound. Chandler Dorsey, I thought he pitched okay. He's, he ends up getting out of the inning and, doesn't allow a run. That's awesome to see. And you're a ways away from him, contributing on the weekend. And then Maverick Rizzi closed the game out. And this was another one that I really, really wanted to see and that I was very keen on. And I think Maverick Rizzi fell behind every hitter that he faced tonight. Ended up giving up a single. I think it was a fly out. Or no, it was a single. It was the ground out to Milam. And then strikeout. But he was behind every hitter. And that's just not encouraging. Like, look, it's great that he got out. He got out of the inning. That's awesome. But you cannot be behind every hitter that you face. You can do that. You can do that against ULL on Tuesday night. You cannot do that against Mississippi State. So, look, like I said, when you look up at the scoreboard, you see 4 runs given up. They only walked 1. That looks great on paper. Watching the game, actually watching these guys' outings, there was still a lot left to be desired from the pitching staff. So, how they piece this together this weekend is going to be very, very, very interesting because, and first and foremost, for me, I think I trust Cade Anderson to go out there and be awesome for you on Friday night. And you will see some combination of Zach Cowan and something at the back end of Friday. It's what they've done all year to this point. They're going to continue to do that. And so I feel really good about that. I think what is the first step in piecing this together different is letting Ianson go. Letting him work out of some trouble and not just the quick hook. Because if there's one thing the kid has shown throughout the year, it's that he can get stronger as the game goes on. Let's give him that chance again, right? Like I said the other day, if there was ever a game to have the quick hook on him, it was against Nebraska when he gave up 5 runs and through 3 innings. You didn't. You left him out there. He got you 6. I understand. Nebraska is not an SEC team. Believe me, I get it. But the kid throws a lot of strikes, and you have a really good defense. So that's where that starts for me. Getting back to tonight's game, offensively, I mean, what are we really going to complain about? Nothing. They were awesome. That first inning was really all you needed. They ended up adding a 5-run sixth. Or excuse me, a 5-run fifth. But the first inning, I mean, Curiel walks. Jones walks. That's when Dickinson hits the ground rule double, so that scores a run. Ethan Fry comes up. First pitch he sees, laces a double. That scores 2 more. After Milam and Brown are out, LSU would score 6 more runs in the inning with 2 outs. Cade Arrembeedi, 2-run homer. You would eventually, Braswell Stanfield would reach behind him. Curiel singles, bases loaded, Jones grand slam. And then Dickinson into the inning with the fly out. But if you add all that up, y'all, 6 hits, you drew a couple of walks, you had a hit by pitch mixed in there, a 2-run homer, a grand slam, 2 doubles, 2 singles. I mean, that'll do. And 6 of the 9 runs scored with 2 outs. This team's ability with 2 outs and with 2 strikes is some of the best that I have ever seen in my life when it comes to college baseball. I mean, they are just really, really good, and it was your full offense was on display in the first inning, and you never really looked back. You'd add the single run in the fourth, the fourth, and then you'd add the 5 spot there in the 5th, and you'd be comfortable in your run rule, your run rule victory. I want to talk about Cade Arrembeedi real quick, but first, Gotlit Light Installers, gotlitlights.com to get your quote. You want to illuminate up, take your outdoor space to the next level. Gotlit Lights, whether it's your backyard pool, front yard, flower beds, any of that, permanent landscape lighting, Gotlit Lights has you covered. Premium outdoor lighting, temporary as well for your private events, weddings, wedding receptions, anniversary parties, graduations coming up here momentarily. In a couple months, I should say. Gotlit Light Installers, they can help you there. gotlitlights.com for your quote. Tell them you heard it right here. Musso at the box. I loved seeing Cade Arrembeedi have the 3-hit night. That was awesome. That being said, the defense behind the plate was still shoddy. We should have actually mentioned that in William Schmidt's first inning that helped allow the 2 runs to score. One of them was on Cade Arrembeedi. You had the passed ball that advanced the runners to second and third, and then I think 2 pitches later, Schmidt goes to spike a breaking ball in the dirt, and it gets through Arrembeedi's legs. The defense is still coming along, but what is encouraging is the bat. In his last 2 starts in the midweek, he's hit a home run in each, and tonight had 3 hits. That was the thing we talked about with Cade Arrembeedi all throughout the preseason was, okay, the defense lacks, but he is by far their best offensive option at catcher. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, he deserves starts on the weekend because, he hit a 2-run homer against New Orleans and had a 3-hit night against ULL. But what I am saying is I'm intrigued to watch him get more at-bats to see if that is building confidence for Cade Arrembeedi. That's the interesting thing there, because if it is, you have another guy that you can insert in the lineup in a DH role potentially down the road. Keywords being down the road. But it's another really good performance for him. But in Schmidt's first inning, it was rough behind the plate. And when you have a guy like Schmidt out there who just looks like he's thinking, you have to be able to pick him up and not have that happen. So encouraging offensively, still a lot to be desired defensively there from Cade Arrembeedi. But look, they're going to keep running him out there in the midweek. And I'm here for it. I'm here for all that. Luis Hernandez is going to catch you 3 games on the weekend. By all means, give him a rest. Let Cade Arrembeedi go in there, get plenty of experience, and get his legs underneath him. Trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to talk about before the game, before taking some questions from you fine folks. Smash the like button if you haven't already, please. Share. That's always appreciated as well. Subscribe to the podcast and on the YouTube channel. Yes, Nathan Hodge. Great crowd for a Tuesday. You were correct. Great crowd a week ago as well when New Orleans was in town. That was, I would say, probably 6,500, 7,000 people in there tonight at first pitch. That was really good. Andrew Sapp, were you surprised not to see Connor Ware tonight? Yes, I was. I was very hopeful to see Connor Ware. I mean, like I told you, I wanted to see everybody. Like, I wanted to see LSU use 7 or 9 pitchers, however many innings they played. I wanted to see a new guy each inning because I just believe there's that many guys that you need to get on the mound right now and just get mound time. That's the only thing that's going to fix this is guys getting out there in a real game environment with live bullets flying and executing. And again, outside of Jaden Newt, there was a lot to be desired, in my opinion, and Connor Bench. Outside of Newt and Bench, there was a lot left to be desired from the pitching staff. But yeah, I would have loved to have seen Connor Ware, and I was surprised. I thought you'd for sure get him back out there on the mound and see if you can't get him going. It's just a guy they're gonna have to count on unless somebody else steps up in the bullpen. Maybe that's Jaden Newt. We'll see. But wait, what's that? Wait, I don't understand what you mean though. Is that quiz frequent? This is the first time I see your face after 4 seasons of listening to you. By the way, thanks for listening. You're pretty close to one of the to an OG there, Quiz. A lot of people thought this began like in 23. This has been going on since 2020. So you're one of the OGs there. Listening to you said, LOL, in the best way your voice didn't match the face I had in mind. Okay, in the best way. What is that? Like my voice is deeper? I don't understand. I don't understand. I wasn't taking a shot, Jude. Who was I taking a shot at? Although a shot does sound great right now. Who is I taking a shot at? I'm just saying. I'm shouting him out. He's been listening for a while. I appreciate that. All right, any more questions? I mean, come on, guys. I got a pivotal SEC series coming up here. How'd State do tonight? Anybody know? I don't have the score in front of me. Did they win? Sure they did. Where's Guidry? Guidry's hurt. Guys, there's no update to give on Guidry, so we're not talking about Guidry. Like, Guidry's hurt. If he pitches, he pitches. If he doesn't, oh well. You go forward with what you got right now. There's no reason rehashing it. There's no reason talking about it. There is no update. We'll get an update when we get an update. Yeah, Timothy, I'll get. Look, man, Schmidt's fastball. He needs the secondaries. Like he does. It's not a his fastball doesn't have a lot of movement on it. And he needs the secondaries. I think that's also one of the big reasons he's struggling is because he's not landing the secondary pitches. That was the whole reason he struggled against Texas. He had no feel for the curveball, couldn't really flip a change in there either, and they teed off on the fastball. Andrew Sapp, State won 6-1. Thank you. Tanner Thurman, should Reeves be the full-time third baseman? Sure, but they're going to continue to rotate that. He gets in there when there's a righty on the mound. They clearly favor those splits for him. So, I mean, and again, it depends on what you want at third base. Do you want the glove? Do you want the bat? LSU is in a position this season with their offense where they could go glove full time, but they don't. They like the mix. They like the rotation. They're going to continue the rotating. It's just what they're going to do. Green Productions, does Mississippi State have a good lineup? They do. I mean, their lineup's good. It's not bad. It's not as good as it was a year ago. Like you lost a lot. They lost a lot out of it. But I mean, Hunter Hines is back in there. Highfill is back in the lineup from a year ago. So yeah, like State's got some hitters. State's got some hitters. So it'll be a good test. And look, here's the deal. If LSU's in the zone, they can handle any. They can handle any lineup they face if they're in the zone. But as soon as they fall, behind in counts and whatnot, the SEC, all those lineups are good enough. So yeah, State, they lost some guys out of it a year ago, so it's not as potent. but it's still plenty good enough. James Allen wants to know about State's rotations, lefties or righties. It's a mix. Pico Khan's going to start game number 1. He's a lefty and a darn good one. We'll talk plenty more about him, obviously, as the week goes on. They've shuffled their rotation a good bit. Carson Ligon, I think he's throwing Sundays. He's the righty. And then the middle guy, Davis, he's a righty as well. So they're looking to go lefty, righty, righty, unless something changes there. Nathan Hodge, which positions are still platoon? Yeah, third base and right field, and DH as well. Those 3, and they're going to continue to do it. They will continue to do that. Hey, Quiz, you never answered my question. And Noah's right. Yes, Braswell got on base 4 times. And again, that's what I'm saying. And he had a knock, which is great to see. He had a great first weekend of conference play against Missouri, struggled against Texas. So they're going to keep platooning that, man. That's, no, I think they will. Noah asked, will the platoons continue into the postseason? I think so. At this point, yeah. I hope they don't. I don't want them to, but I would imagine that they will. They're going to keep playing matchups. Hey, quick. Thanks, Quiz. Quiz says I look young. Younger than my voice. I appreciate that, man. Hell yeah. Some days I don't feel as young as I should. And then some days I feel way too young and I get myself into trouble. All right, I got distracted there. Sorry. I don't remember what we were talking about before that. Any more questions? I got a few. I'll take a few more, and then I'm hitting the road because I'm tired and I'm hungry. I might have to host AFR tomorrow. Give me one more. I don't care what it's about. Doesn't even have to be about baseball. Give me one more question. Dylan Hawley for Cajunomics. There you go. Yeah. Free our boy. What are we doing, man? How dare YouTube shut down an illegal stream? No, Lejeune, are you going to any of the games against Mississippi State? I should be there for all 3. Green Productions, why did LSU drop so far to number 8? You had to put Texas in front of them. They didn't move Texas up enough. That's probably why. Rankings don't matter at the current moment. LSU's also ranked as high as number 5, so, I don't care. Wait, Cam Smith got called up? Parker G, Cam Smith got called up? Oh, I need to Texas Sandy, man. That's freaking awesome. Hell yeah. It's about freaking time. The Cubs should have called him up a couple years ago. He's been mowing in minor league ball. Confirm that. I need to know for sure that Cam Smith got called up. Hell yeah if he did, man. I'm fired up about that. One of the great what-ifs in LSU, man. He had a few moments there where he was awesome. Absolute. Okay, so wait. So Smith's with the Astros now. Let's go, dude. Hell yes. I love that. All right. Tigers in the Pros is going to be a blast tomorrow. That is going to be a blast tomorrow. All right. That's great. That's hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. All right. Quiz frequent. Never. I will never. I have no desire to commentate LSU baseball games or LSU ball games in general. I have no desire to commentate games, play-by-play color at all. That's just not my deal. Nathan Hodge, what's your favorite pizza topping? Like Italian sausage and pepperoni. We'll go with those 2. Love jalapenos on the pizza too, and banana peppers. I have a lot of favorite pizza toppings. I like pizza. Parker G says, wait, are you thinking of Josh Smith? No? What are you talking about? Cam Smith, the pitcher. I'm thinking of Cam Smith. Wait, this isn't the Cam Smith for Oh, wait a minute. I'm thinking of a different guy. Never mind. I was thinking of Cam Sanders. That's my bad. Cam Sanders should be called up too, by the way. Okay. That's my fault. I got twisted up there. Got twisted up there. But yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, man, he was good at Florida State. I remember him now. Yeah, he was fantastic. Gotcha now. That's my mistake. But you can see how badly I want Cam Sanders to be called up. He deserves it. He's been pitching awesome. And yes, chow time. All hail Josh Schmidt. He should have been an all-star last year. It was a freaking travesty. Green Productions. Yes, Cruz has absolutely been called up. He pitched, he played like more than half the season last year, I believe. And he'll be on the opening day roster come Thursday for the Nationals. So that's awesome. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. We went off on a tangent there. LSU, they beat ULL 17-4. Love it. Take that, Cajuns. You lose again. Have a great ride back across the basin. Gauntlet light installers. We'll preview LSU, Mississippi State as the week goes along. Thanks for listening. Y'all be here again next time.